Birds do it, so do butterflies and whales. But did you guys know that forests can migrate too?
Species move around in order to find places that are suitable for them to survive, grow, reproduce, and kind of carry out the basic function of life on Earth.
Of course, individual trees aren't picking up roots and moving. But think about this. As they cast out seeds and new trees sprout just a bit farther away in more hospitable zones, the forests begin to shift.
You do that 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times, 1,000,000,000 times, and a forest, a species of tree, a collection of species of trees can move across a continent. Moving to a place that's more climatically suitable is not only a good thing, it's completely necessary. What's different this time around is that humans have spent the last 10,000 years really altering the face of the Earth.
With deforestation and rapid development, forests can't go where they want to grow. And climate change is fueling extreme weather like wildfires and droughts that can destroy trees outright or leave them more vulnerable to pests and disease.
I have spent most of my career trying to understand whether or not the rate of adaptive evolution is fast enough to keep pace with climate change. But after decades of finding out the answer is no, I've shifted my research to think more about, if they can't adapt fast enough, what can we do to help mediate the situation?
And one solution, assisted migration, having people spread seeds or plant seedlings in new areas to help speed up the migration process. Of course, meddling with Mother Nature comes with risks. Ecologists warn against using assisted migration with rare or non-native species, lest they accidentally introduce insects and diseases to new places. But for local trees, it could make a big difference.
We know that the seasons are getting longer, and plants can adapt to that by putting their leaves out earlier and dropping them later so that they can take advantage of a longer growing season. But if you take plants from a little bit further south than here and assist their migration to keep pace with climate change, they're pre-adapted to doing that, so they're able to take advantage of the longer growing season.
Dr. Etterson is part of the Forest Assisted Migration Project in Minnesota. For 10 years, the program has collected seeds from climate-adaptive trees, brought them to local farmers to grow into seedlings, and then planted them through the reforestation efforts together with the Nature Conservancy. Trees are carefully tracked as they grow, and so far, the experiment looks promising.
When we analyzed our data, we found that for two oak species, plants that were from about 150 miles further south lived longer, had better growth when they were planted in the north compared to the local plants.
The Minnesota Project isn't alone. In his book, The Journeys of Trees, author Zach St. George shares more stories about people so passionate about trees they can't stand idly by.
People get very attached to individual trees, they get attached to forests. So I think the idea that forests are entering this especially rapid period of change, unlike anything in written history, is, I think, disturbing for a lot of people. But so in this book, I also found a lot of people who are sort of confronting that reality and finding hopeful places to go with that.